I'd say this season obviously hasn't been kind of a straight line for Maryland with all they've kind of gone through,
Right.
but where do you see them being at right now? What do you have to worry about and kind of things like that?
Well, they have great guard play. You know, they have some guys that have shot better in the past than they have this year, but still very, very dangerous. We had a really tough time last year guarding Ayala. Just a big physical guard, can shoot, can break you down, can post, can do a lot of different things. Dante Scott puts you in the mix with his ability to drive the ball, deep range. You know, they have interchangeable pieces with Akeem Hart. He's a guy at 6'8", can play a guard a point guard a forward, just guard so many different people. They've obviously added Fats Russell, who gives them, you know, a guy that's going to score 2,000 points in his college career, great quickness, gets to the free throw line, gets to the rim, breaks down the defense. So they have really good players. You know, Wahab is a guy that hasn't really gotten going, but if you look at his numbers at Georgetown, you know, when he gets the ball down low, he's tough to deal with. And, you have to honor him and not let him have a career night because he's fully capable of scoring the ball in the low post. But, you know, just having that respect for those guys, just the way they can score in bunches. They've been streaky this year, but, like, you always prepare for people at their best. Like, when they got it going right there, they're tough to deal with.
What do they do from a schematic perspective?
What's that?
What do they do schematically that you got to be ready for?
Well, a lot of ball screen action. They break you down. They get you in transition. They get you in a lot of different action. You know, whether that's, you know, dribble handoff through down screens, whether it's stack up top, whether it's just straight high ball screen. They do a lot of weave action into ball screen and move the defense and move the help a lot, and really put you in bind. So you just got to be aware. Really, you got to also be a lot of people that got to be aware of the people that aren't guarding the ball. You got to do a good job on the ball, but you also got to do a good job of zoning off and helping out your teammate.
Just the element that Fats has given him as far as transition and pushing the ball as quickly as he does at the floor.
Well, he's allowed Ayala to have the ball in kind of a different setting and not always bring the ball up. Like, he's breaking people down and allows him to play off the ball and catch and shoot, drive, post, do different things. And they'll mix it up. Sometimes Ayala will have the basketball too, and Fats is able to play off of him a little bit. But just his overall quickness, his ability, his number one thing is his ability to break you down, his ability to score. He can make pull-ups. A lot of times those fast guards right there can make threes and make layups, and then their in-between's just okay. He can get to the rim and finish. He can draw fouls. He has a good intermediate game. But more than anything, just trying your best to keep him out of the paint.
You always talk about just being better at what we do. What was kind of the emphasis coming back from Michigan from a defensive perspective then?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think when we've gotten into some troubles through the years is when our defense isn't as good when we turn the ball over. So, like, you have 10 turnovers in the first half against Indiana, you have 8 turnovers at Michigan. Now you put yourself in those binds. Now, obviously, we play better in the second half against Indiana than we did against Michigan, but that kind of starts for us. Like, if we take care of the basketball and we get good shots, it helps us set our defense and then work better. You know, it really wasn't anything different. You know, for us, we didn't score the basketball. We've had issues before. We've just been able to outscore people and just be a little bit better offensively than they've been able to be. And so then, like, you know, you're up 5 to 10 points at half instead of being down what we were. Just because, you know, the game's tied, I think, at 24. The game's tied at 25, something like that. And just didn't have a good
24 all, Ethan.
Yeah, just didn't have a good finish to the half. Had to do a better job of just some details, like Diabate. Like, we didn't get a couple traps on Diabate. He scores. We didn't get Diabate boxed out one time. You know, we allowed Eli Brooks to get his head up. Even though he made a couple tough shots, he still gets 4 pretty good looks from 3. And I know that's over the course of the game. But just, you know, little things like that, they accumulate. You know, he goes 4 for 4. Houston goes 4 for 6. And then, obviously, somebody else went 4 for 6. Hunter Dickinson went 4 for 6. That normally does it right there. You get 12 threes from 3 people.
Yeah, that's not a recipe for success.
No, it is not.
Is playing the bigs anything that you look at moving forward, or is that just kind of a move just to try something?
Yeah, they were bigger. They were getting us on the glass right there. You know, we've played with one of them in the game. We've been a good rebounding team. In that game, we were not. Just trying something different. Try to get maybe some stops. Maybe make it a little bit harder on Diabate. You know, keep Zach on Hunter Dickinson, even though he's gonna, you know, stretch you out a little bit. You got to be able to rotate to him. And but no, it was just obviously any lineup that we used didn't work other night. So, but no, we're just trying something new to hopefully get some stops and have a little bigger front, rebound the basketball, so we could have a chance to get back in the game, which obviously it didn't work.
You've talked about getting Zach established early, and he's gotten into some foul trouble early in these last couple of games. What can you guys kind of do to kind of make sure he's not getting some of those calls that maybe can go either way?
Yeah, a lot of coaches let guys get that first early one, and then they, I don't like letting them get those two right away. I like getting them on the bench, letting them sit there for a little bit. It's such a long game, processing things. It's been very frustrating. His first foul was a foul. I didn't agree that his second foul, and I still don't. It was a loose ball. The ball got loosed. He got grabbed. He grabbed the guy. They both grabbed each other, really, if you want to get right down to it. And the ball was loose, and Michigan got the possession of it. I didn't know. He's got a tough whistle a couple of times here in the past 3 games. And he's getting pretty frustrated with it. And so you just got to control what you can control. But get him established, get him the basketball. He got some good looks, finished some of them. Other ones, he didn't finish. But he's just got to stay in the game, and we just got to keep working it and get him the basketball.
Is it just a matter of just kind of adjusting to the whistle, like on the fly during games, or can you do?
Yeah, but like he's
fundamentals.
Yeah, but he's blocked 2 people's shot, and they call fouls. Like he blocks Hunter Dickinson's shot, they call a foul. He blocks Kofi Coburn's shot, they call a foul. It's a loose ball play. He gets a foul. He's just getting some tough whistles, and it's just one of those things that happens. Now, it happens for you too. Like other people get calls against them that aren't right at times. So that's what you have to understand. There's times it goes for you, and times it doesn't. Right now, he's just in one of those things. But don't make it worse. Like don't let your frustration say, well, since I'm getting fouled, I can foul them, and that's third grade logic. Don't do that. Just because somebody fouls you doesn't give you the right to foul them.
Just the job Ethan's done making catch and shoot threes this year. How important has that been for your offensive mix?
It's been great for us, just not him, but like Eric Hunter stepped up and made catch and shoot threes. Ethan's made catch and shoot threes. Obviously Jaden shot a good percentage. Sasha shot a good percentage. Isaiah went that slump, but we all know how dangerous he can be in knocking down shots. So just our overall, guard play, those guys have really shot the ball well. Obviously Mason has shot it well. Caleb has shot it well. Mm-hmm. So we've had a lot of guys be able to shoot, and that's why when you're 1 for 9 other night in the first half, like which one was a bad shot? Like I didn't think any of them were that bad. I thought half of them were just like kind of wide open shots. So you want to encourage that. Keep giving yourself a chance. I wish instead of having 8 turnovers, you have 4 turnovers, and now you have 4 more looks at the basket, and now just see how things would accumulate. And that's why taking care of the basketball is so important. But no, he's done a really good job for us, and it's hard. It's hard because sometimes he'll play more, sometimes he'll play less, sometimes it has to do with the opposition, sometimes it has to do with us, sometimes it has to do with the guys that are out there that I want to keep in the game against them. So, but no, he's been great when given an opportunity.
Is there a science to catch and shoot shots specifically, especially for guys in high school, a lot of whom have had the ball in their hands?
Right.
Is there any sort of secret sauce to being successful with that particular shot?
The secret of it is to be able to work on it, receiving the ball from different places. The easiest ones are those step-ins coming inside out. That's the easiest one. Now being able to move a little bit and shoot's a little bit different. And so getting catches coming off screens, getting catches on rotations, and getting catches on inside out. Those are the easiest ones. The transition ones they're easy also. Moving and shooting and get your shoulders turned and getting square, that's the toughest ones. So we put a lot of time into those. And you see the guys that kind of do the runaway shooting, like Ryan Smith or Ryan Klein or Carson or Dakota. Sasha's obviously very, very good at it. That's the hardest piece to really add on if you're a shooter, to be able to run and shoot like that.
What can Brandon Newman do to help you? Or is there anything?
Well, his ability to shoot the basketball is his number one strength. He's in a tough spot because of the 2 people that are in his position. He arguably has the best guard in the country at his spot. And then, like, if you look at assist to turnover ratio, if you look at offensive efficiency, if you look at post feeds, if you look at 3-point percentage, if you look at experience, like Sasha Stefanovic is the best in those areas. And so, like, he is a stabilizing force for us and what we do. And so, like, he's just in a in a numbers crunch. Now you throw Ethan in there. Ethan comes and plays that role and does a lot of little things. Doesn't turn the basketball over, knows what's going on, has made threes himself. And so now who's best in that role? And obviously Ethan has been able to get that role. Now you could argue if each person got 25 to 30 minutes, who would be better in that role? I'm not saying one is over the other, but I know in that role coming off the bench, playing that 8 to 17 minutes, Ethan gives us, more because he does a lot of the little things better.